Hello, hello, hello. I had to go live in a different way. So I'll see if I can connect with all of you now. I see some people are messaging me. Okay, so hopefully some of you can join. Hi, Bruni, welcome. I had some technical challenges again tonight. The scheduled session launched, but it kept spinning, and the camera wasn't going on. Okay. Hello. Hi, Adita. Welcome, welcome. We're going to make this happen tonight, no matter what. So I feel bad for anybody that used the original link for the conversation tonight. I am sorry that that didn't work out. Let's just give people a couple of minutes so they can join in. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to let everybody know that we are on and we are live. Okay. So I see people are in. People are in. Good. Oh, hi, Vanessa. Welcome. So welcome to tonight's Facebook Live conversation. I had some technical challenges this time as well. Not as bad as last time. Last time I was fighting with my computer for about 40 minutes. This time I was only fighting with my computer for about 3 minutes. So that's much better. Today, we are talking about embodying kindness, spreading love and compassion in the time of COVID-19 quarantine. For those that don't know me well, my name is Beatriz, and I am a professional coach and speaker, and I focus on embodiment. I strongly believe that by developing a strong relationship, an intimate relationship with our bodies, we can connect to our most authentic self, and we can connect to the unlimited wisdom that exists within our bodies. So when I talk about the concept of embodying kindness, I'm talking about connecting to that wisdom inside of us, inside of our bodies, to tap into that softness, that love, that kindness that exists within all of us. I don't need to tell you that the current situation has been extremely challenging for everybody. Everyone is experiencing a lot of fear, a lot of stress, and that interferes a lot with the way we communicate with others, but also with the way we are interacting with our very own selves. And kindness is a tool that I have been applying to my very own life because I've been feeling that stress as well. And I think the reason that this live probably didn't work out last week, and it's because I needed another week of practice. I needed another week embodying kindness myself. And I'll be honest with you, I have felt the benefits of this practice. It's been very rewarding to me. Hi, Francelis. I'm glad that people are finding the live since the original link didn't activate the right way. I'm happy that we have a few people here. Great. So, the situation is different for all of us. There are some of us that are working from home, and many of the people that are working from home have the challenge of working at home, those of us that live in New York City, working in a small apartment and sharing a space with other people, whether those are roommates, spouses, or children. My heart goes out to the parents of young kids. I'm talking to you, Vanessa. My heart goes out to the parents of young kids that have to maneuver working from home and also becoming now teachers and taking care of their kids 24/7. It's also challenging to work from home and be in communication with people only in one dimensional way or a two-dimensional way for those that can do video. Um, when you are not face to face with someone, it's really easy to miscommunicate. I see some comments coming in, so I want to make sure I capture it. Vanessa is saying thank you because I acknowledge the challenge as a parent with young children. She's having working from home and also taking care of them and making sure they do their homework. So I was talking about the people working from home, the kinds of stressors that they have. If you're working from home, please feel free to add to the comments and tell me about some of the challenges that you're having if I don't cover it. But there's also the people that are not working. A lot of people were laid off at the beginning of this quarantine with the expectation that they were just going to be out of work for maybe 4 to 6 weeks. And we are already in the middle of our third month of quarantine. Thankfully, the government has put a lot of things in place to support people that are unemployed, but not everybody has a job, a salary job, or a job that pays unemployment taxes. There are a lot of people that are day laborers, people that work under the table and that are not entitled to those kinds of benefits and are unable to go and make a living right now. So that adds a lot of stress. For the people that are unemployed, there's also the issue of losing insurance benefits. And some people that have conditions that they need medication and treatment for, or people that may have contracted the virus and then have the concern of not being able to pay for that. That's a big stressor. And then there's the essential workers. My cousin Francelis, she's here. She's in the food industry and she's an essential worker. So she not only has to go to work, but she has been working very, very long hours. And I'm very grateful that she can join us tonight because she sometimes is working at this time. We need to eat. So food workers are essential workers. And for those of you that are essential workers, it's, you have the challenge that you have to be in proximity with people when you may be afraid about contracting COVID. For those that don't drive to work and that have to commute in public transportation, the concerns of, being in a closed car in the subway or a bus with recycled air with other people that could be carriers of the virus. Those things can be very scary. So, it's not an easy time. I personally, besides being a coach, I also have a career in social services. I also handle business with my husband, so I'm overemployed. I have found myself feeling the tension of the situation. I have found communication to be a lot more challenging, and I have found people on the other side of the communications being a lot more sensitive, on edge, a lot more stressed out. So that's why Francella said she just made it home. Great. And that's why I decided to have this conversation, because it is affecting me personally. I'm finding myself being more stressed out and having a more difficult time communicating with other people and carrying that stress in my body, but also a lot of people in my environment, my coaching clients and other people I interact with are also having the same experience. And then besides all those different scenarios of everyday life, people that are working from home, people that are currently unemployed and struggling, and essential workers, then there's also a huge sense of loss. There's a lot of people that were unable to have important life events celebrated at this time. You know, all the high school, college graduates that were unable to have their ceremonies. I have several friends that had to postpone their weddings. And right now, my beautiful sister is pregnant. She is due in a couple of weeks. And for many people that are expecting, they're unable to have their spouses when they go do a sonogram or when even in the delivery room. That's shifting a little bit because as the numbers of cases go down, hospitals are becoming more lenient. But imagine you're having your first baby and your spouse cannot be there sharing that experience with you. Those are really important life experiences that that you don't want to go through by yourself. Things that you don't want to have to experience alone. Oh, Adita says that she's feeling lost and adrift during this time. Thank you, Adita, for sharing. So I wanted in very practical terms to talk about specific things that we can do. But I also want to help us connect with a feeling that can help us channel what I call embodying kindness. When I talk about embodying kindness, I'm not talking about faking niceness. No. Because that comes across. When you fake niceness, people can feel it. People can sense the lack of authenticity. So I'm talking about really going deep inside your body, grounding yourself in those moments where you're feeling stress and connecting to a feeling of softness, a feeling of gentleness. I was actually watching Oprah. She's been doing a series of lives right here on Facebook. And on her first one, she was speaking to The Rock. And she said two things in that Facebook Live that I'm going to steal and use for our conversation today. One thing she said is to speak on using softer tones. So even if we're feeling stressed, if we try to soften our voice, that helps ground our energy, that helps us feel more relaxed, and also it creates a kinder, softer, grounding reaction on the person that's listening to us. And that's something that we can do over the phone. That's something that we can do in a video conference. But when she was speaking to The Rock talked about how he was feeling challenged, how he was feeling stressed. And he said that one of the things that he was doing was being tender. And Oprah loved that word. And I loved it too. Not just because Oprah loved it, but because it really conveys what I'm talking about, embodying tenderness, softness. You know, when you think of tender, you think of a baby. There's nothing more gentle, nothing softer than the skin of a baby. So he's talking about being tender with himself, being tender with his family, being tender and forgiving with himself as a way of taking care of himself during this time. Bruni says she loves the... Hey, Mabel, I'm so glad that people are finding the talk. I'm sorry the original link wasn't working. Yay! I'm happy everybody's here. Yeah, so Adita says for her, tenderness means sweetness and softness. Yeah, whatever word that helps bring you to that feeling, cotton, soft fabrics, whatever it is that can help you connect with a softer feeling within yourself, that can help you be kinder and more loving and gentler to yourself, but also kinder and more loving towards other people. So, ways in which you can embody kindness. One thing that all of us can do, independently of what our situation is to set an intention for our day. Some people like to call that, making affirmations. Some people like to meditate on the feeling that they want to have for the day. I call it setting an intention. And when I found myself feeling really stressed out and really tense, I decided to use the affirmation or the intention. Today, I embrace kindness as a spiritual practice. Today, I embrace kindness as a spiritual practice. For me, kindness became a form of prayer that I was committing to practicing my whole day. And anytime I felt myself getting tense or getting annoyed, I'll repeat that to myself. So setting an intention for your day, independently of what your situation is, whether you're working from home, not working, or having to go out as an essential worker, think of a phrase, something that conveys the feeling that you want to carry throughout your day. And, find a place where that connects with your body. I was just touching my chest right now, but to be honest, usually when I want to channel something, I touch my stomach. Because I feel like, that's the center of my body. That's what connects my body and connects me to all the sensations and feelings in my body. Another important thing that you can do to take care of yourself is try to have a good, well-balanced breakfast. The things we eat, the things we put into our body have a lot to do with our mood. So think about what that is for you. I'm not going to prescribe you a diet, but just think about what will be the kind of food that will make you feel the best during the day. Something that will give you energy, that lasts, that doesn't make you crash early in the morning, that, won't make you go through really steep peaks or valleys. So think about, set your intention and have your breakfast. And another thing you can do is, if you have the time, if you are not commuting, or if you have a little bit more time in the morning, the weather is getting really nice. So find time to maybe walk in nature. You could do it at the beginning of the day or at any point in the day. I am having nature walks every morning before I start my work day, and it's been amazing. I have the blessing of having a park very near me, and the foliage, the flowers, they change every single day. They even change depending on the time of the day that you walk. It's amazing. And just seeing the color of the flowers and the green, it gets greener every day. It just puts me in an amazing space. And the physical exercise, I get to do 3 miles. The physical exercise, it just puts me in an amazing place to start my day. So that's, those are the starting morning recommendations that I'm making for you to help you embody kindness, and kindness for yourself. Because when I'm talking about kindness, I'm not only talking about what you do for other people, what you project for other people. I'm talking about taking care of yourself. If you're working from home, ways that you can be kind to yourself are: set boundaries. Being kind doesn't mean being a pushover. Being kind doesn't mean taking everything that comes your way. Being kind doesn't mean overburdening yourself with work. Being kind means being responsible, being reliable, going the extra mile when needed, but setting boundaries. So set boundaries with work, set expectations, let people know what times you're working, what times you're not working, what times you are available. What I'm doing is I let my boss know when I start my day, I let my boss know when I end my day, and I let them know also when I'm taking my lunch break. So these are the things, these are the times work has to fit within those time boundaries. Yeah, Bruni said definitely don't work more than you have to. Yep. Yeah. I am finding are you reading my notes, Bruni? Come on. One of the things that people are complaining about is that because they're working from home, they have a hard time cutting off their workday. So it is really important that you close your workday, that you set up yourself a schedule the same way you would if you were physically in an office. It's really tempting to, send an extra email, do an extra phone call, write an extra memo. But it's extremely important in taking care of yourself to have a clear beginning and end of your workday. Create a comfortable workspace. I know that's easier said than done, especially for those of us that live in tight spaces or that share space with a lot of different people. But try to create, even if it's a tiny little corner in your apartment, a space that is specifically designated for work. And try to set up that space whenever possible with things that make you feel better. Flowers, whatever it is that can make you feel better. Take breaks. Just take breaks. Like I was mentioning, I take my lunch hour. What I'm doing is it takes me just a few minutes to eat. So what I've been doing is I do a workout for 40 minutes during my lunchtime, and then I take the extra 20 minutes to eat whatever I'm going to eat for the day. So take your breaks. And if you are sharing space with different people when you're working from home, set boundaries. Let your family know when it's work time, and let them know what your expectations are of them during work time. And I know it's a lot harder when you have younger ones, but whatever you can do to explain to them that it's time for work, the same, maybe combine it with their homework time, whatever it is, to let them know that you need some space to do certain things within that time. And most importantly, once you're done with your workday, put things away. It's really tempting to leave the space set up in the same way because you're going to be working the next day. But closing your laptop, putting all your notes away, visually removing work is something that can really help you separate. And then another thing, you can also end your day with some kind of movement. I actually do movement before, movement in between, and movement after. Not always movement after, like today was raining, so I didn't go for a second walk. And sometimes if it's actually really nice out, I don't go for a second walk either because there's a lot of people on the street and I'm trying to be safe. But dancing, putting a dance music and dancing for a song when you finish your work day, taking a shower, doing something that helps ritualize the end of the day, closing your laptop and going to do something, movement or shower, or some kind of playtime with your kids. Give them some quality time after you have ignored them a little bit doing your work. And thank you, Bruni. Boundaries with friends. People know that you're working from home, so they think you're available for them. No, you're working. The same way that you will be if you were in the office, you're not available for them. So they can wait until after 5 or 6 or whatever your work schedule is. Being kind to others. So what I was saying, I was finding that communication was a lot more challenging during this time. When you're only communicating with people by phone or email, and you're not seeing a person physically in front of you, sometimes it's easy to lose meaning. It's also easy to not provide enough information, which can lead to miscommunications later. So when you're having a stressful day or a challenging day, or you have a coworker that's triggering, because we all have those, be very careful when you read communications. Take your time and read email twice if needed. Walk away. And be thoughtful about your responses. Always use greetings when you email someone. Good morning, good afternoon. And if it's someone that you haven't been in communication with regularly, ask them how they're doing. Ask them how they're doing during this time. Ask them about their family if you feel it's comfortable and appropriate. Show them that you care about them as a human being. That can take you a long way in building rapport and improving communication at work. If you're giving guidance, because you're not physically in front of people, a lot of things can get lost. So if you're giving guidance, make sure, if you send it in writing or if you're giving guidance over the phone, make sure to detail the steps of what you're expecting. Set really clear expectations and timelines. Don't leave anything up to chance. Clear communication, direct communication is the best way to be kind to others, to get what you need, and to be kind to yourself. Because by doing that, you will avoid future conflict and future challenges. And if you're mostly communicating with people via email and you're finding that your point is not getting across, pick up the phone, get off email, ask, can I give you a call right now? And try to, address whatever the situation is over the phone. Because in text, it's really easy to lose meaning. So those are my tips of embodying kindness. And repeat your affirmation, your intention during the day. Those are my tips on embodying kindness for those working from home. Do you have any comments or questions before I move on? Okay. For those of you that are unemployed, this can be a really challenging time, and I'm really sorry that you are in this situation. Especially for those of you that are not necessarily receiving. Hi, Addie. I'm glad you found me. Especially for those of you that are not receiving unemployment benefits, it is even more challenging. There are a lot of resources out right now. I'll try to share as much as I can on web-based jobs, online jobs that you can find. So, just do a couple of Google searches. There's a lot of virtual jobs available. Right now, every single state is looking for contact tracers, which is a job that you can do from home over the phone. Basically, when somebody is identified as having the coronavirus, they're gonna need people to follow up with that person and find out who they were interacting with, so that they can, find out if those people are impacted by the virus. So every single state right now is looking for contact tracers. So those are jobs that you can find. And, we also have a lot of people that don't have documentation to work. So those contact tracing jobs and maybe some of those virtual jobs may not be available to them, but there are a lot of other positions, especially working with restaurants and delivery jobs, that people that are undocumented can do. Now, if you are choosing to do one of those jobs, if those are the only opportunities that you can have, your immigration status, your employment, your documentation status has nothing to do with your right to safety. So you should make sure to be kind with yourself by asking for protective equipment, for PPEs, when you do deliveries, and practice all the safety tips and guidelines that the CDC is providing. And essential workers. Francelis, how are you handling it at work? How are you taking care of yourself? Not only are you showing up every day, but you are working very long hours. How are you taking care of yourself there? I definitely want to hear from you. Essential workers, the same thing that I just said for people that may be working on delivery roles. Please make sure that you demand. You can be kind and demand and assert yourself and ask protective gear. Find out what the cleaning practices of your business are, so you have a sense of what's going on and you can take care of yourself. And of course, like all of us, keep practicing good hygiene and protect yourself and wear your mask and do whatever you can to protect yourself. For those that are essential workers, other things that you can do to put yourself in the right frame of mind for going to work. If you're driving, audiobooks or podcasts are a great resource. There's a lot of wonderful information about taking care of yourself, developing yourself, growing yourself that you can use. So we're hearing from Francelis. So audiobooks, podcasts, music, anything that can elevate your energy that you can do. Yeah, so Francelis says that the thing that she's really trying to do to be kind to herself is to not extend her days too long. Good. She's trying to set boundaries with her time. And if you are an essential worker and you have to wear a mask and you have to interact with people, you can still smile behind a mask. That's a way to be kind to yourself and be kind to others. People can tell if you're smiling behind a mask. And talking about embodiment, when you smile, even if you don't feel very happy at the moment, just the action of smiling can elevate your mood. So that's a way to change your state and a way to change your mood. So those are my very, very concrete tips for the different types of workers, things that you can do to embody kindness towards yourself and towards other people. Listen to music. For those that work from home, you can also play music. I like silence when I work, so for me, that I don't do that, but there's people that can, listen to music and work at the same time. Great. So other things that all of us can do to be kind. Oh, Emily wears mascara. That changes her state. Great. I put mascara on today. I like lipstick. And doing my hair. Great. Other things that we can do to be kind to ourselves, something that's really important, and with this hyper connected culture, especially now that we're depending so much of our computers, TVs, and cell phones, is to be very careful with the information we consume. We have to be very selective. Certain video clips, pieces of news can really add to our stress, can add to the existential struggle that many of us are experiencing right now. So be very careful. I only watch PBS NewsHour because it's the least sensationalist news. So it lets me see what's happening in the world without a lot of gore and editorializing. And I do watch Governor Cuomo every once in a while, but I'm not watching it now as religiously as I used to do at the beginning. I am not keeping track of the counts. I know people are dying. I know people are sick. But I don't need to know the number to be compassionate, to care. I know, the general trends that the numbers are going down. That's all I need to know. Are the numbers going down or going up? General trends. That's all I need to know. But I don't need to know the specific numbers. At the very beginning, I was keeping a really close eye on that, but not anymore. Not anymore. It's not good for my soul. Vanessa puts perfume on. Yeah, it's smelling good. um, Identify things that you can do every day to take care of yourself. I gave you some tips about movement because that's my thing. I'm developing some amazing look at that. I'm developing some amazing biceps during quarantine. So I'm gonna be all muscle by the time this is over. So exercise really works for me. It really helps me de-stress. But find something that helps you de-stress, whatever that is. Something like putting perfume. That's something super simple. But if watching certain kind of TV, I really love this show on YouTube called Some Good News. I think they're not producing any more episodes anymore. I'm forgetting the name of the actor. But basically, every Monday he was showing like a 20-minute show where he was showing a collection of positive videos of good things that were happening during quarantine. And I'm going to tell you, there hasn't been one episode that I watch or that my husband watches, my very masculine husband, that we both don't cry because it's so moving and so beautiful. So that kind of news, that kind of information I'm consuming. Be very careful, Latinos, we use WhatsApp a lot. I'm not drink some water. And there's a lot of horrible information that's being shared through WhatsApp. There's also a lot of phishing scams that are being shared through WhatsApp, Facebook, and other social media platforms. So if you get a coupon or something that seems too good to be true, don't fall for it. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to your credit score, and don't share your information with anybody unless you're absolutely certain that they are legitimate. Use kind words when talking to yourself, especially those of us, that may be alone right now. There's a lot of people that are single and that are home by themselves. Don't use negative language to talk to yourself. When I hear any of my friends saying something negative to themselves, I'm like, don't talk to my friend like that. Be kind, be gentle, be forgiving. If you can perform the way you usually perform at work, be kind, be gentle to yourself. Don't call yourself stupid. Don't queer eye. Yep. Queer eye makes me feel better. 100%, Emily. I agree with you. So be kind to yourself. Be careful with the words, not only the words that you're using to talk to other people, but use gentle, kind, and like The Rock says, tender words to talk to yourself. Participate in personal and professional development. For those that have a little extra time, thank you for being here tonight, because tonight is all about personal development, soul development, embodiment. Find opportunities that you can grow yourself. There's a lot of free courses out there. A lot of schools, a lot of places are offering free seminars as a way to get new clients or continue customer engagement. So you can take advantage of this opportunity to learn a new skills or to develop yourself. You can use your time in that way. Another thing you can do is keep a gratitude journal. For those that like journaling, I actually am using this. The Magic is from the same people that created The Secret. It's a guided gratitude journal, and it has daily activities, and I find it extremely useful. So I highly recommend it. Another one that I used to use, I alternate. I do it for a little while, I stop, I restart it. Another one that I have used is Even Happier. This is more of focused on positive psychology. Even though Adita and I were talking about toxic positivity yesterday. But it's really about bringing your mind and putting in writing things that can help you connect with the goodness and the kindness in your life. So Guided journals are for me because I like having a little bit of structure in my journaling. Adita says she's doing coding classes. Yeah. Google is giving free seminars and Microsoft too. Thank you, Adita. Yeah, professional opportunities. There's a lot available right now because all those businesses and these platforms want you to use them, so they're giving you free trainings and you can definitely expand your skills. And you know, just think about how you want to end this period. What, even if we transition to what they're calling the new normal, what do you want when this finishes? Do you want to develop yourself more, learn new skills? Do you want to have a deeper connection with your family, get closer to your kids? Do you want to get the rest that you haven't had in a long time? Do you want to develop deeper connection with your loved ones? Just because we are separated from each other, it doesn't mean that we are not connected. We can, video chats are becoming really powerful tools. I actually call my mom sometimes when I'm doing my walks in the park, and I show her the flowers because she loves nature and she loves animals. My mom is always watching the nature channel, so I show her the little birds and all that so that she can enjoy that experience with me. Think about how you want to end up with your relationship with yourself. One thing that I said, one intention that I have. Thank you, Barbara. John Kaczynski, he's the one doing some good news. Thank you, Barbara. John Kaczynski. So if you haven't seen it, please, please, please go to YouTube and go watch Some Good News, and you're going to have a good, positive cry. I'm telling you. It's impossible not to cry. So Adita said she wants a hobby. Well, you can build a lot of relationships online. Takes some dedication, but yeah, a lot of people are meeting online at this time and building online relationships. So think about what you want at the end of this. One of the things that for me, I want Beatriz 3.0. I want to use this experience to grow. I want to have a breakthrough without a breakdown. I am lucky to not have been impacted by this. I'm lucky to be healthy right now. I'm lucky that everybody in my family is healthy right now. And I have learned a lot in my life through struggle and pain. And I want to learn and grow, but not with pain. I want to be able to get to the next stage in my development without pain. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's happening. I had amazing breakthrough moments this weekend. I have entered a period of peace and well-being and confidence and trust in myself and in life that is unprecedented. I'm feeling the best I have ever felt, and it's because I'm being self-aware and I am focusing on my growth and my development. And I'm not talking about growing professionally or anything like that. I'm thinking about all the things about myself that I want to change, that I want to overcome, and I'm being very, very intentional about changing those things. And this talk today is part of that. I want people that interact with me to feel better at the end of the interaction. I don't want to carry tension and stress and anger at the end of my day. So I'm doing these things for my own benefit, and I'm sharing the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm learning with you. So I hope that this conversation was good for you. It was good for me. It went a lot longer than I expected. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will do this talk once again, exactly the same talk. I'm going to be doing it at the same time next Thursday, but it will be in Spanish. A lot of you have been asking me to provide content in Spanish. So yes, I'll be doing Encarnar Bondad. it feels a lot different in Spanish. I'll be doing this talk in Spanish. So be on the lookout for the information on that. I'll see if I can work out the kinks with the Facebook Live and get it to launch properly the next time. And for those of you that are not already following me, you can find me here on Facebook as Beatriz Mieses in my professional coaching page. You can also find me on my website, beatrizmieses.com. I'm on Instagram as beatrizmieses.coach, and I'm also on YouTube. So you can find me in all those different channels. Also, I am working on a collaboration with Sierra Adair. Sierra Adair is a dance instructor and sensuality coach. And we're going to be doing a collaboration talking about hunger and desire and how we women interact with that in our lives. So more to come on that. I think we may do our first Facebook conversation next week on Wednesday around 7 p.m. We're still working out the details. So hunger and desire with Sierra Adair. Wednesday next week, more information to come. So follow my page and I'll be sharing the details with you. And for those of you who haven't joined me yet, please also look for my group, Embody Joy, on Facebook. We're creating a community for women where we can talk about issues of embodiment and how we relate to our bodies, how we can take care of our bodies, and how we can live more intentionally through the wisdom of our bodies. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. Have a good night.